God put me into a penthouse at 19 years old in order to show me what is truly important in life. And I can tell you right now, it is not penthouses, it is not flexing on people, it is not even travel, although I love to travel. The only measure of your ultimate success is how closely you live out your unique destiny. And to be clear right now, I'm not against penthouses, I'm not against physical success, I'm not one of these weird fucking spiritual people that tries to shame you out of your physical goals because it's all bad, okay? It's all bad. I personally actually call them spiritual cucks, because while you're sitting there in supposed spiritual superiority, looking at a tree, although I love also looking at trees, other men are fucking the women that, if you're being honest, you want to fuck. They're making the money that you're supposed to make, and you're just not going on the life journey. You're also not going on the life journey that you are supposed to have. So don't be a fucking spiritual cuck. But what I learned after that penthouse story, and if you want to know the entire story, I was traveling through Mexico. I had just kind of started getting success in my business, in my social anxiety coaching business at 19, which was pretty fucking cool if you consider a kid coaching people 10, 20 years older than him. And by the way, they all got great results. I mean, I had a client go from literally afraid to leave his house to throwing parties. I had another client with bad social anxiety who by the end of it approached an Instagram model with over 1 million followers and actually got her Instagram. So the transformations were pretty fucking cool. And I was pretty happy with it. I started traveling the world like I always wanted to. While Germany, by the way, was in crazy fucking lockdown at the time. I remember, I actually think I made a story. I don't know if I bitched out about posting it, but I actually made a story from a fucking nightclub. While everybody in Germany, talk about flexing on people, while everybody in Germany was locked the fuck down, I made a story from a nightclub and put the sticker that said, if you remember that, I put the sticker that said, "Stay home." I don't remember if I posted that or not, but it was pretty fun. And by the end of it, a friend of mine from Germany DM'd me and was like, "Hey bro, I'm getting a fucking penthouse in Tulum. You wanna come?" No, dude, I don't want to come, okay? That sounds horrible, all right? Of course I want to come, okay? So we're in the fucking penthouse, and what we do there, instead of actually focusing on enjoying the time, doing what we're there supposed to do, which, by the way, Tulum is basically like, in a way, by a way of looking at it, a lot of weird stuff there too, a lot of people selling you drugs, but dude, it's kind of like heaven on earth, man, because you have a jungle, the most beautiful beaches you can imagine, and then you look to your left and you see a fucking Maya ruin overlooking the ocean. It's crazy. Plus, literally the hottest girls you've ever seen. It's literally, I said this to people, it's literally like they spawn there. Okay, like in a video game, they spawn fucking characters. The hot girls just fucking spawn there. All right. So what we did instead of just enjoying it, all that we could think about is, man, we gotta get bitches into the penthouse. We gotta get bitches into the penthouse. We gotta get, okay, not being present to the moment at all and just enjoying being there, but just obsessed with getting the next thing, getting the next dopamine spike. And what happened to us is that one day, you know, my buddy got a little bit drunk. I personally don't drink alcohol, but he rode us on a scooter, and a random Mexican walked right in front of us. And if we didn't want to crash into him and maybe kill, or maybe the guy probably wouldn't have killed him, but if we didn't want to do that, we just had to basically lay the fucking scooter down on the ground and just take the injury. So we both got pretty badly injured, not horribly, right, but enough that we actually couldn't get bitches into the penthouse, right, enough that we were actually forced to just fucking sit there kind of in misery. And I even remember back then kind of thinking like, being there, and my friend, and I love this guy, but my friend was kind of even more than me in a mode of I'll be happy when, and I need to get more things in the physical in order to be happy than me. And we were sitting by the small private pool of the penthouse, and this guy was just going on this rant of how he's happy with his life. I think he might have even said that he thought about killing himself. I'm not sure about that, but he definitely went on a very, very unhappy rant, let's just say that. And even in the moment, I thought like, dude, we're basically in heaven on earth. What the fuck are we thinking about here? This is crazy. All right. So what happened next is I couldn't continue my travels, luckily, and I was forced to stop my ego trip of traveling while people in Germany were locked down and flexing it on them, with the high point of that being the fucking penthouse. I actually had to go back and live with my parents for like a year and figure shit out, right? And ever since then, it's been like 5 years, almost 5 years. I'm 24 now. It's been almost 5 years since then. Ever since then, my entire journey has been just getting fucking connected and dialed in to what God wants me to do. And now, probably you wouldn't have clicked on this video if that language doesn't resonate with you, but you don't even have to use the word God. You could just call it your true purpose. That's if you're very boring and you want to use the boring fucking self-help terminology instead of actually something interesting like the Tao. It's probably my fucking favorite, okay? Tao Te Ching, incredible book, which talks all about this. We're gonna get into that. But it's been an entire journey of just figuring out what I'm supposed to do from my core. Now, what most people are stuck in, and you're probably there, and there's different levels to this. One level is you're literally just a dopamine chaser. This could be like, it's cartoonified. This could be a guy just fucking fapping in his basement all day, you know, like somebody addicted to porn, smoking weed, watching TikTok all day, playing video games. Dude, I can't even play video games anymore, by the way. It's fucking sad. I'm trying to play Ghost of Tsushima. It's not working. Like, I love the forest more. But anyway, that's just a side tangent. That's one level. The next level is what I was in back then is kind of the entrepreneurship hustle culture conditioning, where you just kind of chase the next dopamine hit, chase the next dopamine hit, chase the next dopamine hit. Not in the form like just a fucking loser guy in his basement where you're just fucking fapping and watching TikTok, but you're still chasing the next dopamine hit in the pursuit of the next client, of the next fucking target that you're trying to hit, okay? And you're actually not that different from the guy that we just kind of roasted, okay? You're kind of in the same mode of just dopamine addiction and not actually being tapped into what you're truly supposed to do, and also where that flows from your happiness right now in the present moment. Now, above that is somebody who, well, you also have the spiritual cucks, and I fucking already dealt with them, right? But above that, let's say you transcend all of that shit, what you have in my view, and what I've kind of grown into more and more over the last couple of years, is somebody who is connected to his own well-being, and from there, you naturally feel inspired to do certain things. For me, right now, it's videos. I actually spent the last 3 years after my trip in Egypt just getting even more grounded in this. There were shadow sides too, okay, I might talk about them in other videos, but really getting grounded in my well-being right now and detaching it from any kind of outside result that I want, okay? And from that place, and Eckhart Tolle talks about this especially in A New Earth, Power of Now as well, but A New Earth, they're probably the introductory texts. Later on, you can get into like the Tao Te Ching and things like that. Even the Gospels in the Bible, I mean, they're fucking incredible. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird people around it that are keeping you from reading it, that approach you on the street and are like, is Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior? I almost want to ask them, like, is he yours, dude? Is he yours? You don't look like he's your Lord and Savior. You don't look like a real Christian, like who really got the message. But anyway, that's my fucking rant, right? But yeah, so basically what you do is you connect to your state of well-being right now, and you could go to the forest, you could meditate, you could get really present, and out of that, your natural abilities, your natural talents kind of just become obvious to you, and what you feel naturally inspired to do from a state of fulfillment will be blatantly obvious. For me, it's videos. For you, the funny thing about this, the cool thing about this is that you literally have no idea what form it is going to take if you make this commitment, right? Because if you're kind of stuck in the hustle culture mindset right now of like the next thing, the next fucking client, the next ad campaign, the next blah, right? If you're stuck in that, you're so disconnected that you have no idea who you actually are at your core. And you might just need to take a break of like, I mean, I took a couple year break. Maybe you don't have to be that extreme. I'm actually making this video for you right now so that hopefully you don't have to be as extreme. But you kind of just have to take a break from everything, step back, get really fucking present, detach from everything that you've been attached to in the physical world. To be honest, a good thing that could happen to you is just lose all of it, because if you have absolutely nothing, the only thing that you have left, in fact, is to tap in, is to get present to the moment, is to connect to God, if you want to use that word, and see what comes out from there naturally. So I kind of hope that doesn't need to happen to you. Again, I make these videos so hopefully you can just make the transformation a bit of a more graceful way. But even if it happens to you, know that it's leading up to something, okay? If you've lost everything, what it's leading up, and if you're kind of in a bad place right now, maybe, what it might be leading up to, if you take the transformation, if you don't resist it, if you go into conscious non-resistance to it, again, all these spiritual texts teach this, I'm gonna make more videos about that in the future because I've literally spent the last 3 years also fucking studying the shit out of them. Like, I went down some weird fucking rabbit holes, okay? You don't even want to know, okay? But I'm going to start talking about it. But what they'll teach you, again, is to tap in instead of your ego, tap into what is beyond you and what you're supposed to do from a state of flow, from a state of fulfillment. The Tao Te Ching puts it incredibly. It says that you play your part in accordance with the whole universe. The entire verse is something like, and by the way, my favorite, you can look this up right now. Look this up right now. I double fucking dare you if you want to have a real transformation. Okay, in fact, even if you want to get money and hoes, this is going to help you because it's going to help you detach from the outcome. People feel your non-neediness and you just get shit easily. But anyway, that's also a different video that I'm probably going to make. But look it up right now. There's an audio version on YouTube by Wayne Dyer, read by the OG Wayne Dyer. I promise you, dude, if you listen to that before you fall asleep, man, you wake up the next morning, you feel like the fucking Buddha, okay? I'm not kidding you. Maybe it's not going to be that extreme, but you know what I mean, okay? It's fucking crazy. It's basically like a psychedelic trip. I don't do psychedelics, but it's pretty fucking awesome. So the entire verse in the Tao Te Ching goes something like, the parts of a chariot mean nothing or are useless unless they play their part in accordance with the whole. A man's life brings nothing unless he lives in accordance with the whole universe. You could gain the whole world and forfeit your soul. It's really possible. And I was fucking lucky, very, very lucky to at a very young age get enough of a taste of the wrong paradigm, of the ego-based paradigm of hustling for success and flexing on people because you actually feel like you're not good enough in your core, and having that taken away from me and just being forced. By the way, if you're one of the people that's like, you probably wouldn't be watching it anymore, but if you're very stuck in the ego parasite thing, you'd be saying, well, you only stayed there for a little bit. You gotta live in the penthouse to be happy. Maybe that's true, but I don't think it is, okay? It's not. You're just fucking more stuck in the same toxic, disgusting mindset, just on another level as the loser that we talked about in the beginning. You're the same fucking guy, just on another level and completely stuck on it. And even worse, by the way, your version of addiction is socially reinforced because it is what society tells you success is. Society tells you success is getting what you want, when in reality, the only success there is again, tapping in. Eckhart Tolle calls it having a successful present moment, getting really present, grounded in the now, and seeing what naturally flows from there. The Jungians call this individuation, although they're a little bit different. They're a little bit different from the spiritual crowd in that they're more analytical. They're more kind of stuck in their head. Funny enough, I talked to a very spiritual friend of mine yesterday who did Jungian analysis, and he was like, man, these people, they're kind of below 500 if you know the Hawkins. If you know the Hawkins scale. My favorite personal levels of energy book is actually Levels of Energy by Fred Dodson, which is, in a funny way, I don't know how he does it, but it's even more whack than David Hawkins. I don't know how he does it, but it's even more whack, but I love it. It's better in my view. But anyway, if you know the Hawkins scale, is like 500 plus is like the very spiritual stuff, and below that is more the mind. He's like, man, the Jungian stuff, it's kind of in the 400s, man. But I think you'd like it. He's like, yeah, I like it. You know, it's one of the things I've been going into as well. They call that individuation. And the cool thing about it, while maybe being a little bit less advanced, if you even want to use that language, being like on a lower energetic level, I don't even know if I believe in this, but even though that's maybe true, the beautiful thing about this is their emphasis is not just on the being. You have that in the spiritual thing too, but what it's specifically about individuation is that their emphasis is not just about the being, it's also about the becoming part, becoming who you're meant to be. And Jung was somebody who actually looked very deeply into alchemy, and the ancient alchemists, the medieval alchemists, who of course were very whack as well, and they didn't really know what they're doing. What Jung, the conclusion that he came to is that they literally projected mental and psychological processes into matter and thought that what they actually should be doing within them and what that was a symbolic representation of, they thought they were actually supposed to do with matter. But what they said about the philosopher's stone, okay, the ultimate goal of the alchemical transformation, the spiritual transformation, if you look at it, if you look at what it really is actually simultaneously the water of life and a stone. Now, if you look at that symbolism of the stone and the water, they're kind of polar opposites, right? If you think about Avatar, right? You have the fucking earthbenders and the waterbenders. They don't get along, right? They're kind of polar opposites. But it hints at the truth that the real key is connecting to the everlasting present moment, like Eckhart Tolle would teach you. But from that, you don't just sit there in fucking meditation like a spiritual cuck, but things actually naturally flow from you. You want to fucking create. You want to go explore the world. You want to run off into the forest and fucking make a, how long is this? 15 minutes. I don't know how long this will go. And make a fucking video, okay? I've made almost 1 hour videos about fucking just ranting, okay? Also, I mean, to be honest, they're fucking great, okay? If you look at the longer videos on my channel, they're usually the best because that's where stuff really comes through and you just need more time to really explain complex things and to really kind of make an energetic transmission, right? As weird as that sounds. But anyway, the Philosopher's Stone, again, stone, water, being, becoming. And when you connect to that place within, the natural things that you're supposed to do just arise. Okay, and again, you will basically become like a fucking kid, okay? You'll want to run around, do things. You will even want to run around facing your challenges and overcoming the challenges that you have in your life, right? So it's not just that you sit there being happy all the time. You can admit to yourself when something is wrong, but the way that you tackle the challenges is very different from how you used to do it in that mid-level paradigm where you were ego motivated. Because the way that you do it is you come from a place of complete and utter fulfillment right now. You do not self-attack for your failures. You allow them to be. And just from a base foundation of already being fulfilled, already loving yourself, not attacking yourself, you take action, you create what you're naturally supposed to create. And what you will find happens is that things work out pretty fucking miraculously. I mean, I could tell you stories, especially in Egypt. That was, to be honest, kind of the high point for me of that mindset. It kind of gave me a taste of what it could be like. Things work out pretty fucking miraculously, okay? And we're getting kind of into some weird stuff here, but in a weird way, you know how manifestation is just complete fucking bullshit? I hope you know that, okay? If you don't know that, just please learn it, okay? Like learn it fast. You can't fucking manifest a Lambo by just sitting there and being like, the Lambo, I manifest that. It's not gonna fucking work. But in a weird way, if you really tap in and you really surrender first, and this is the key word, you surrender first, things happen almost as miraculously as the weird fucking manifestation gurus want you to believe. Not because you did something crazy with your mind, although there might be some truth to that in which your inner reality mirrors your outer reality. There is definitely truth to that. But the real manifestation is you tapping into what you're supposed to do, not what you want to do. You, in fact, have to go away. You don't fucking matter at all, okay? You have to get rid of yourself as much as you can. But if you do that, it's almost like, again, the Tao Te Ching teaches this, your actions become those of nature, your ways those of heaven. That's the quote. And what you will find is things just kind of fall into place better than you could have ever figured them out. And I'll probably make entire videos in the future of how this worked out. But I had situations in Egypt where literally I was about to completely run out of money and it just fucking shows up. Like literally magic. Literally in the last fucking second when I think I'm totally fucked, it shows up. Exactly the amount that I need. Fucking crazy, okay? Again, I'll make probably videos in the future of what I believe manifestation really is and how it really works. But what you will find is that things that you used to chase and that you used to need on the outside, they just kind of start happening naturally. And again, you may have challenges, but the way that you face them is not from a place of hating yourself, feeling like you're not good enough, and thinking that you have to achieve some kind of ego ideal. I believe that's what they actually call it in real psychology, not whack fucking self-help shit. Although, for whatever reason, I really love the whack self-help shit. I'm a whack self-help guru myself, let's be honest, okay? But I also like to study the normal psychology stuff, but they call it an ego ideal, okay? This conditioned, totally conditioned, has nothing to do with you, but this conditioned mental image that you have of what success and an ideal person should look like, which is probably based on your childhood experiences, your traumas, your fucking bullies, right? If you had them telling you that you're not good enough. And now you're like, I'm gonna prove to everyone I'm gonna be in the penthouse at 19 years old and I'm gonna show them and I'm gonna flex it in my story. And by the way, you also want to know a secret? No one cares, okay? Nobody gives a shit what you're doing anyway. So that's a great realization too, is that even if you get the ego stuff that you think you want, nobody cares, okay? And for you, it's literally, it's a fucking black hole, okay? You're never going to fill it. And the only way to fill it, in fact, is to go to God. There is this kind of, again, a wacky new age phrase of that you have a God-shaped hole in your heart. But in my view, it's really true. And if you don't connect to that, well, good luck, okay? You get the lesson sooner or later that just chasing dopamine, whether as a fucking dude fapping in his basement or as a psychopathic entrepreneur guy, don't have to actually be psychopathic, okay? I'm just saying that to be cartoonish. I love entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurs are doing amazing things. But again, the energy that you're tapping into will always, 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 always have an effect on what the ultimate fruit of your action is. There's incredible, and this is another spiritual text that I'm going to cite to you, but there is an incredible part in the Bible. It's John chapter 15. It's called the vine and the branches, where Jesus says that, and again, you don't have to be a fucking Christian to believe this. I don't even know if I would call myself a Christian, but it's an incredible metaphor of what books like the Tao Te Ching, even Eckhart Tolle on a kind of more relatable level talk about. He says that no branch that doesn't stay tapped into him, like nobody that doesn't stay tapped into him, or anybody that doesn't stay tapped into him is basically like a branch from, as the sun starts hitting me. Wow, incredible. As we were talking about Jesus, the fucking sun, hold up. Here you go. Now you have fucking Jesus. Okay. I'm a fucking cartoon character. Okay. But what Jesus says there is that he is the true vine. That's just a metaphor for the present moment, okay? Fucking that energy that you can tap into. And if you don't stay tapped into it, you are literally like a branch that is cut off, thrown into the fire and burned. Basically just saying that you can do nothing if you're not tapped into this. And anything that you do from a space of not being tapped in, not surrendering, not being present to the moment, not connecting to God and making that your priority is literally just going to come to ashes. And if you're lucky, it's going to come to ashes soon. If you're unlucky, you spend your entire life in this fucking mode and you basically become like one of these psychopathic billionaires that the only thing that they can do, talking about lockdown, right? The only thing that they can do to still get the last hit of dopamine is to fucking control people. Lockdown, weird Epstein shit, right? That's where that comes from. It's when that black hole that refuses to be filled by anything other than God, okay? Anything that comes from outside of you that is not you just tapping into your ability to be happy and present right now, if that is not filled with actually the present moment, the Tao, whatever you want to call it, it gets fucking weird, okay? And it can get weird in your life on a lower level, or maybe you're a psychopathic billionaire watching this, but I don't think you are, okay? You probably would have, at least at the fucking Jesus thing, you would have clicked off, okay? So what I wanted to share with you in this video is kind of just an introduction. And again, I'm going to make a lot more videos about this, okay? This is just the beginning. I've come back from a 3-year hiatus and kind of relearning my instrument here of public speaking and speaking into the camera. But I'm going to make so many more videos on this, how to actually tap in, how to live out your unique destiny outside of ego, how to get out of your own way and to not do it as a spiritual cuck like we talked about, but to actually get the things that you want in the physical world as well, but to do so from a place of already being fulfilled in the present moment right now. And from there, from that base foundation of happiness and of being tapped in, sky is the limit, I believe. And you don't have to become a demon-possessed satanic billionaire sacrificing a goat or worse, okay? That's really what this video is about. Don't be a psychopathic billionaire. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you subscribe, okay? The videos are only going to get better from here. Again, coming off a 3-year pause, all right? They're going to get so fucking good. I'm going to make a video probably every week. Maybe if I feel inspired to do more, I'm going to do 2. But the thing is, what I've also learned is I don't want to be a fucking Nazi with how I do it. by the way. That's what my dad always used to say with people that do extreme stuff, that take things into the extreme. He used to call them like health Nazis, right? Like people that are super into their health. I'm from Germany, so it makes sense, right? It's just kind of fucking stuck with me. So I don't want to be a Nazi with things. Maybe one week I'm just not going to do a video, okay? It's just not the right thing to do. But generally I aim for one video a week. On these topics, we're still going to be talking about social confidence and how to fix that area of your life. But the focus is also going to switch to really connecting and living out your unique destiny. Because without that, again, like I said, you could be in a fucking penthouse in heaven on earth. You could achieve all of your goals. It all doesn't matter unless you're connected to this. Okay, I hope you subscribe to the channel. Do it right now, okay, while it's hot in your mind. We're going to change your fucking life here. And I'm going to see you in the next one.